The Farnesina was built for Agostino Chigi, a rich Sienese banker. Later bought by the Farnese family, they renamed the villa. Raphael's Galatea is the star of the villa. Not only did Raphael use Roman mythology as an inspiration, it has been discovered that he used a paint used by the Romans as described by Vitruvius called Egyptian blue. It was a pigment dating back to 3100 BC and thought to have been replaced after the fall of the Roman Empire with the use of lapis lazuli. This mythological fresco is a scene of a series never completed, which was inspired by the Stanze per la giostra of the poet Angelo Poliziano. In Greek mythology, the beautiful Nereid Galatea had fallen in love with the peasant shepherd Acis. Her consort, a one-eyed giant named Polyphemus, came upon the two lovers together and threw an enormous pillar which killed Acis. Raphael chose to depict the scene of the nymph's apotheosis. Galatea appears surrounded by sea creatures whose forms are somewhat inspired by Michelangelo. Galatea rides a shell chariot drawn by two dolphins. Earlier, Sebastiano del Piombo produced a fresco of Polyphemus, now next to Raphael's work. After the completion of the Polyphemus and Galatea, the first floor tells the fable of Cupid and Psyche. Of the cycle and the planning of the scenes and figures are due to Raphael. The frescoes were painted by his assistants, Giovanni Francesco Penni, Giulio Romano, and Giovanni Daudine, who was the artist of the exuberant triumphal festoons. The luxurious palace of the ancient Roman Emperor Nero, known in Latin as the Domus Aurea, or Golden Palace, was discovered and explored beginning in the 1480s, more than a millennium after it was built. The buried Domus Aurea was of course pitch black. Because of this, the structure was quickly labeled a grotto, and it is from this term that grotesque is derived. Today we use the term grotesque to refer to a style of art featuring fanciful, ugly, bizarre, and mythical creatures or human forms of the sort found in the Domus Aurea. It quickly drew the attention of many notable Italian figures, including Michelangelo and Raphael. In 1519, Chigi commissioned Sodoma to paint a fresco cycle showing the wedding of Alexander the Great and his bride Roxanne, based on an idea by Raphael. Also on the first floor is the Room of the Prospective Views, where in 1519 the rich banker held his wedding banquet. This room includes views of urban and rural landscapes between fictive columns and is one of the most mature and successful pictorial creations of Peruzzi, having conferred with Sebastiano and Raphael. The melodious and powerful echo of the ancient world can be found throughout the Farnesina. There are a world of images, symbols, and myths where Peruzzi, Sebastiano del Piombo, Raphael, and Sodoma competed to satisfy a man determined to emulate the great patrons of antiquity.